What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Stocks channel. My name is Cory, and today in the stock market we went up across the board yet again. Where are my price targets and how high can this market continue to go? And are we due for a pullback at these levels? First up, let's take a look at the S&P 500 SPY ETF. So let's crack open this chart and see what's going on in the stock market today. Alright, so zooming right along, we did see the S&P 500 SPY ETF going up 0.39% today, and that's yet another new all-time high on closing prices. So we did get that gap up in the morning, and we did close that gap intraday, and we closed near the open at a brand new all-time high. So you can see we're back to closing above that 384 Fibonacci extension level for 2 days in a row, which only further validates that the SPY ETF is heading towards my price target at 393. So from today's close to that price target, we're only about 1.4% away. So it's very close, and we're likely going to get to that price target as soon as next week. Now, one thing to note about that price target is it is going to be very likely that we see some sort of pullback once we get to that level. That should be a strong resistance level, and you can see that the stock market is currently moving up in a very impulsive way, which means once we get to that price target, we will be due for some cooling off and we'll likely see some selling at those levels. So as the market continues to head higher, remember to stay disciplined and lock in some profits because this is not the time to be getting greedy. We can see the price action is getting a little far extended away from the 5 EMA, and we are trading near that upper Bollinger Band. Now overall that is extremely bullish, but we don't want to see the market go too far too fast because that means it's likely going to see a steep pullback. We can see the bullish trending picking up momentum, and all of these moving averages are strongly stacked to the bull side, which means we're still trending in the upward direction and we're still likely to see new all-time highs. Now as far as support levels, watch this 384 level, this 381 level, and if we continue to break down below there, we're likely going to close the gap, which will close right around SPY levels of 377. However, that gap is not likely going to get filled until we see a stock market correction. Right now, the market is in full bull trend mode and we just continue to head higher. So I would expect to see the SPY find support at 384 or 381 if we do see any pulling back before we get to SPY levels of 393. So those are your critical resistance and support levels that I want you to pay attention to on SPY. And remember to remain disciplined and don't get too greedy as this market continues to head higher. Next up is the Nasdaq 100 QQQ ETF, and we also saw the Nasdaq 100 closing at brand new all-time highs today. We see the price action well above that 5 EMA, and we still have this very strong bullish trend with all of the moving averages stacked to the bull side. Now the price targets I want you to watch on the QQQ ETF is up here at $333. If we break and close over that level, the next level above is going to be up here around $338. Now it's very likely that the QQQ is going to blast right through 333 and start heading to 338. The reason I say that is because the S&P 500 target is still about a 1.4% away, and if you look at the QQQs, we're only about 0.5% away from this price target. So it's likely that that level could be a resistance level, but it's very possible we blast right through it and just continue to trend higher towards the next price target. Now as far as support levels go on the QQQs, there should be strong support right here at the 326 level, and if we break and close below there, it is likely we're going to close the gap at 323. Like I said with the S&P 500, it's not likely that that gap is going to get closed until we see the next correction. So we're likely going to continue to head higher and hit these price targets before we see some selling. So it's possible we get to this $333 level before we see any selling in this market, and it is also equally possible with this strong bull trend that we don't close that gap until we get all the way up here to $338. So remember, the trend is your friend, and as long as the trend is going this strong in the bullish direction, there's no reason that we have to sell off and close these gaps below. So don't get too bearish just because I'm showing you this gap down here, and don't try to short this market just because we're going to brand new all-time highs. Next up is the Dow Jones DIA ETF, and we saw the Dow Jones coming back up near the price target at $312, but getting rejected yet again and closing lower for the day down here at $311. The Dow still went up 0.28%, so it's still looking bullish, and you can see that we are building up some bullish momentum on the trend. Now the Dow Jones needs to break and close above this level to start forming brand new all-time highs, and it needs to join the party with the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. As you can tell, all three indices are looking bullish with the price action and the trending, which is exactly what we want to see. When all three indices are looking bullish together, that tells us that this is the real deal bull market and that we're likely going into that secular bull market where all earnings reports are good and all indices are trending together. Next up is the ARKK ETF, and we see the ARKK ETF getting up to my price target at $149 but failing to close above. If ARK can close above 149, it's likely going to run to my next price target at $155. You can see we're building up some bullish trending and the price action is still looking good, holding up over that 5 EMA. Support levels on ARK are going to be at 143 and down here at 135. Next up is the VIX, which is our fear indicator, and we saw the VIX blasting through support at 21.6 and closing below it, going down -4% today. Remember, the VIX is our fear indicator, and this tells us that fear is leaving this market. In a low fear market, we will continue to grind to new all-time highs. When nobody is worried about a correction, they're just going to continue to buy and drive the market higher. That also means that we could be nearing a market top, and as you could tell, we're getting very close to my price targets. So it is possible the VIX is cooling off until we get to those price targets, and then we should see volatility return to this market as we continue to see selling and maybe a small correction after we pull back from those levels. So the VIX is doing exactly what we would expect to see the VIX doing in a bull market that's going to new all-time highs. Next up is the US dollar, and we see the dollar having a very bearish day, closing back below the 5 EMA today. And we never actually got full bullish trending going on because the 13 EMA and the 20 simple moving average never crossed above the 50 EMA. So this was definitely somewhat of an ABC correction to the bear market on the dollar, and it did look a lot like a dead cat bounce. We never actually got up to the resistance level at 91.80, and it is still possible that we go test that level as resistance. However, you can see the dollar looking very weak today with a full bearish engulfing candle, and it does look like it's giving back a lot of its recent gains. So we're going to see if the dollar is going to find support at the 50 EMA or if it's going to blast right through it and continue its bearish trend. Remember, a weak dollar should be a strong stock market, and we're still not seeing the dollar completely reversing this bearish trend that it's in. Next up is gold, and we did see gold looking good on a day the dollar is looking bad, and it does look like gold is trying to head back up towards this resistance level at 1826. It would need to break and close over 1826 before it can head to the next price target at 1861. On the silver market, we saw silver bouncing off of that 20 simple moving average yesterday and closing back above the price target at 2650. It looks like we're well on our way back to the next price target at 2750, and you can see we never lost our bullish trending going on here, and we're still trending in the bullish direction. So look for silver to try to go back up to its previous highs towards 29, but it will have to blast through 27.5 first. On Bitcoin, we're still looking very bullish, and we're still holding above all of the moving averages on the price action with a strong bullish trend. We broke out of this consolidation wedge to the bull side, and we did backtest it as support, and we continued to bounce. So Bitcoin looks like it's well on its way towards my price target at 42,700, and it should get there in no time flat. Bitcoin is looking very bullish, and I wouldn't be surprised in the least if it blasts right through my price target and continues to go even higher. Next up is Amazon stock, and we continue to see Amazon trending higher in this strong bullish trend with bullish price action. It looks like Amazon should have no trouble getting up to the next price target at 34.43. There's support levels down here at 33.20, and it does look like Amazon is holding above that support level as it continues to build bullish trending. Next up is Apple stock, and we saw Apple looking pretty weak today, going down -0.46%, but holding up right on that support level at 136. You can see we still have the bullish trend, and the price action is still closing over the 5 EMA. So for now, if we can hold this 136 level, look for Apple to bounce and start heading back towards the price target at 141. A break and close over 141 should bring Apple back up to 146. On the financial sector, we see continued strength with the price action, and we're starting to get our bullish trending back. On the industrial sector, the price action is still looking bullish, and we're starting to build up that bullish trending in the industrials yet again. You can see the industrials are pretty much still going sideways, so it will take some repairing of this chart to start trending back to new all-time highs. On the healthcare sector, we're still seeing some weakness, but we're still holding up above this positive sloping 50 EMA, so we just need to see the price action get back above the 20 simple moving average, and we're back to being bullish on the healthcare sector. So going back to the S&P 500, you can definitely see that there's a lot of reasons why this market can continue to trend higher. We're seeing a very strong tech sector, financial sector, and industrial sector, and the healthcare sector is really just cooling off, and it does still look bullish. We see a low fear environment with a weakening dollar, and it does look like the S&P 500 SPY ETF is going to continue to trend towards that price target at 393. So always remember, in all bull markets, it's still fully possible to see volatility and selling, but it's important to note that we're forming higher highs and higher lows, and that the trend is still bullish. So the trend is always going to be our friend right here on the Stocks channel, and we're always going to do objective analysis looking at price action and trending. So I'm still bullish on the stock market, and I do think that we still have plenty of upside left in this market before we see a deeper correction. Don't forget about the Stocks channel Discord, where we're a disciplined and profitable trading community. You can find out how to join the Discord server by clicking on the link in the description of this video. So next up, let's take a look at the Stocks channel Hot Stocks. Zoom in right along over to hot stocks. First up, let's take a look at Tesla stock, and we saw Tesla pretty flat today, only going up about 0.26%. The good news with Tesla stock is we're still holding up above this confluence area where all of these moving averages are building up, and they're building a strong base of support for Tesla to try to bounce off of. Remember, when we see a consolidation like this, it's equally possible that it could also break to the downside. But even though this is a bullish setup, there's no guarantees in the stock market. So watch to see if we break down below the 20 simple moving average, which is right around 850. If we continue to bounce off this level, it should be no problem for Tesla to retest my price target at 906. If we break and close over 906, we're likely heading up to the next price target at 967. Remember that Tesla is finishing a wave 5, which means when we finally do see the top in Tesla stock, we will be going into a short-term bear market. If you're paying attention to my S&P 500 analysis, it's very likely also going to be very close to the top in the S&P 500. So I do think there's more upside left in Tesla stock, but if we do start breaking down below this 850 level, remember we can go all the way back to the 50 EMA down around 735. So the 50 EMA is catching up to the price action, which is what happens when a market goes sideways. The closer the price action can get to the 50 EMA without dropping, that's really just an accumulation period and a consolidation of the price. So we see the 50 EMA catching up to the price, which means the price doesn't actually have to fall down to the 50 EMA. So Tesla's still looking bullish, and remember, I always say as long as Tesla's chart is bullish, I'm going to remain bullish on Tesla stock. Zooming on over to NIO stock, we see NIO went down negative 1.6% today, but we're still holding up above that critical support level at $55. Remember, on NIO, I made it very simple for you. If we break and close below 55, get out because the stock is likely heading much lower. However, if we can hold up above $55, this is still a stock that has a little more juice left in it, and we could still head back up to this price target at 61. If we break and close over 61, it's likely we do head back up to this $65 resistance level. So you can definitely see NIO stock is breaking down on its bullish momentum, but as long as it holds up above support, it's still bullish and it can continue to try to run. Next up is Palantir stock, and we saw Palantir absolutely going beast mode today, and it went up 6.24%, and it's still continuing to build some bullish momentum. We could see we got this nice pullback to support at $31 since we had that nice run up, and it looks like we're building that bullish momentum back up, and we're going back to the price target at $36. Remember, if Palantir can break and close over 36, it should head back up to the next price target at $44. There should be strong support levels at $31, and you can now see that the 20 simple moving average is starting to catch up to the price action, and it's going to start putting upward pressure on the price, and we should see Palantir continue to run. If we do break below the 20 simple moving average, there could be strong support also at the $29 level. Next up is Zoom stock, and if you remember on Zoom stock, I told you I was extremely bullish on this stock ever since I introduced it to hot stock, and I always had that price target of $418. Well, lo and behold, we finally hit that price target today, and Zoom had an absolutely amazing day, going up 7.59% and actually closing above my price target at $418. If you remember when I first introduced Zoom to you, it was down here on 337, and now as today's close, that's a 24.37% move since Zoom was a hot stock. So this has been a huge money-making hot stock, and if you're on the Stocks Channel Discord, you know that we were also trading Zoom all throughout this sideways move and accumulating a long position. So this was a stock that we made a lot of money on, and as you know with hot stocks, once we hit my price targets, we're going to go ahead and move on to another hot stock. So Zoom is likely no longer going to be on hot stocks as of tonight. However, if you're on the Stocks Channel Discord, we will continue to trade this stock because there's still a lot more upside and there's still plenty of trade ideas. So if you want to continue to trade Zoom and you're not already on the Stocks Channel Discord, consider becoming a member because there's still plenty more trades to be made in this stock. Next up is Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM, and just like with Zoom, we hit our price target at $238, and Salesforce did its job and made us a lot of money. However, because CRM is hitting its price targets, I got to take it off of hot stocks and we got to move on to a new hot stock. So congratulations to all of you who made money trading Salesforce stock. It was a great move and we've had some great success with hot stocks. Next up is our new hot stock, which is Snowflake, ticker symbol SNO, and we do see SNO going up 0.8% today, and it's still holding up above that support level at 304. Remember with SNO, I introduced it earlier on Monday and we had this monster run, and now we're just cooling off and going sideways before we get ready to run to the next price target at $350. This is a buy the dip stock, so hopefully you're accumulating around this support level because it is possible that SNO is going to continue to run next week towards this price target at $350. Remember with hot stocks, you want to accumulate them and you want to pay close attention to my price targets. So if you missed out on this first move and you have a chance to accumulate for this second move, that's where you want to start building up a position and get ready for the next run in this stock. I'm still very bullish on Snow stock, and I think it's got a lot more upside even after it hits this price target. So remember, if you want more hot stocks daily at the ground level, you gotta become a member of the Stocks Channel Discord. We're a disciplined and profitable trading community, and we're absolutely crushing this market. You can find out how to join the Discord server by clicking on the link in the description of this video. So happy Friday, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you're crushing this market and making a ton of money. So thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.